Hello there and welcome to a video about the teaser for episode 3 of the Amazing Digital Circus. So, for the first scene we see a CRT monitor turn on and display text that says on the next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus on a blue background. The text seems like it might be oozing frying oil, but I'm more sure. In the next scene we see the outside of the main location for this episode, Spudsy's. It seems to be mimicking an older design for McDonald's locations. The environment also seems to be that of a normal town, which is interesting and likely has some lore implications. In this scene we see a giant gloved hand similar to Kane's hand pushing Jax into Spudsy's drive-through area. The only thing really worth mentioning here is that the order screen technology is a bit older, following the generally older theme of the entire series thus far. In this scene we see Gangle turn on some machines in what I suppose to be the kitchen of Spudsy's. In this scene we see Ragatha throw a tennis ball while talking to a sad Gangle. They are also in the circus, so they are probably at the beginning of the episode, although there is still good evidence for this being at the end. In this scene we see manager Gangle telling Jax in the employee outfit something probably along the lines of telling him to pull himself up by the bootstraps. In this scene we see a new character by the name of Orbsman explaining something to Pomni and Ragatha. Here we see a wooden mannequin NPC slapping the Spudsy's counter that Pomni is standing behind demandingly. You can also see a sticky note on the cash register that says, POS login, user, Spud, code, 469,674. A POS is a transaction machine. I tried to see if there was anything in the new version of www.thewackiewatch.com, which is supposed to be Spudsy's website, but I couldn't find anywhere that I could put a password and username in. It would have been pretty fun if they did include another secret accessible through entering the password and username for the POS. There is also another wooden mannequin eating their meal in the background. In this scene we see Jax walking very annoyedly away from the drive-through area. It is likely worth mentioning that among other things, there is an image of manager Gangle's mask on the corkboard. In this scene we see Ragatha in her employee outfit doing something with our hat while being tired. This scene takes place in the kitchen as we can see a deep fryer in the background. In this scene we see Kane flying over to a suggestions box on a pole located in the circus that is filled with suggestions. This scene likely takes place after being reminded that they did, in fact, give him suggestions for adventures. In this scene we see Jax being shocked at the glowing queen coming to the drive-through window with her glowinks. This is likely just Kane reusing assets. In this scene we see Pomni getting shocked by a new customer showing up at the counter. All we see of this customer is a white protrusion. I would wager a guess that this is Gummy Goo. The people that like Gummy Goo will be very glad if this is Gummy Goo. It would probably be a very interesting plot point. In this scene we see Kane shaking Bubble. I have no idea why. In this scene we see employee Jax picking up employee Ragatha while talking to manager Gangle. This takes place in the kitchen. In this scene we see Gangle in Zooble's room looking in the mirror at her manager mask. This might suggest that she got the manager mask from Zooble or Zooble's box of parts. In this scene we see employee Pomni waving at either a customer or Gummy Goo with a strained look on her face. In this scene we see King opening his eyes. Why this scene is here I do not know, but it is here nonetheless. In this scene we see Kane supposedly saying goodbye to the cast while floating in the Spudsy's. This likely happens after teleporting them there. In this scene we see manager Gangle looking worried while turning around and speaking to employee Jax. In this scene we see a tired employee Ragatha placing fries on a pile of burgers. This is likely an order from a customer. In this scene we see sad Gangle drawing while Zooble is leaning on a wall in the background. His gives me two theories. Either this is where Zooble gives Gangle the new mask, or Zooble and Gangle switch bodies. In this scene we see employee Jax going insane as employee Zooble presses patties in the background. In this scene we see employee Pomni crawling on the ground in the eating area in the Spudsy's. She is likely looking at Gummy Goo again. In this scene we see a bored employee Ragatha talking to a manager Gangle. Behind Ragutha is the burger pile. We see Ragutha constructing in an earlier scene. In this scene we see a time elapse of the Spudsy's location going from afternoon to night. In this scene we see Jax, Pomni and Ragutha peering into Zubal's room. This scene likely takes place directly after the Gangle mirror scene. In this scene we see Manager Gangle snapping. In this scene we see a delirious looking employee Ragutha either staring at either someone or the ceiling. In this scene we see an insane Manager Gangle waving her arms in what is likely an instructional employee training video. In this scene we see a scared looking Pomni holding a trash bag outside of Spudsy's during night time looking at a Manager Gangle. Pomni is likely holding the trash bag to dispose of it, and this likely takes place after Manager Gangle snaps. In this scene we see Manager Gangle trying to motivate a tired looking Ragutha. This takes place during daytime. In this scene we see Kane holding the suggestions box while zipping his mouth shut. Bubble is shown in the background licking the spot where the suggestions box was. In the final scene we see the same CRT monitor from the beginning fading in text saying, "Coming December 13th. Now, for the audio playing in the video. It starts out with the narrator for this teaser saying that the viewer will learn about the ins and outs about what will happen in the next digital circus in the video, describing the video as an instructional video. Then, Manager Gangle starts talking about how they need to start the day and about how they've got burgers to make. Jax is confused and asks why Gangle is talking like that, and Gangle retorts by saying, "Looks like somebody doesn't have their smile on," and then she asks Jax to go into the freezer to get some patties out. It then turns out that the freezer is the same one that narrator Pomni and Halloween narrator were teleported to. This might mean Patty confused, saying what's going on? Then Gangle says, "Find out in the brand new episode coming at you soon." After that the instructional narrator says that nobody was ever teleported anywhere again and that there was everlasting peace. After that the video ends. What are your thoughts on the teaser and the few ideas I presented in this video? Please put them in the comments. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.